A portable power bank caught fire mid-air, and the smoke was so bad, passengers and crew ended up in the hospital. This happened on a Tway air flight traveling from China to South Korea, and what's scary is, the fire wasn't from the plane's engine, not from turbulence, not from lightning. It was from a device many of us carry every single day. According to reports, Tway Air Flight TW634 was flying from Sunya in China's Hainan province to Cheongju in South Korea. The plane took off at around 2:10 a.m., with 32 passengers and 6 crew members on board. Everything seemed routine, until smoke suddenly started billowing from a passenger's carry-on bag near the front of the cabin. Just picture that for a moment. You're seated inside a sealed aircraft cabin, thousands of meters up in the air, and suddenly there's smoke coming from someone's bag. In a confined space like that, smoke spreads fast. Panic spreads even faster. But here's the key part. The cabin crew reacted immediately. Tway Air explained that the flight attendants quickly identified the source, a portable power bank, removed the device, and followed emergency procedures. They submerged it in water. That detail matters, because it tells us the crew knew what they were dealing with, a lithium battery situation. Lithium battery fires aren't like normal fires. They can flare up again. They can burn extremely hot. And sometimes, putting them out is not as simple as spraying an extinguisher and walking away. In this case, the fast response likely prevented a much worse outcome. The flight continued and landed safely at Cheongju International Airport at 6:37 a.m., about 40 minutes earlier than the scheduled arrival time. But the danger didn't end there. Even after the plane touched down safely, 8 people were still sent to the hospital, 5 passengers, and 3 flight attendants who were the first responders. The reason? Smoke inhalation. Thankfully, all passengers were later discharged and returned home. Now, the authorities are stepping in. South Korea's Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, and Transport said they will conduct a full investigation, including checking the capacity of the power bank involved and whether it complied with onboard rules. Because yes, there are rules. An earlier advisory shared by the airline reportedly states that power banks above 160 watt-hours are not allowed on board. And this is where it becomes a real wake-up call for all travelers, especially those who carry multiple power banks, or buy high-capacity ones online without checking the real specifications. Because in many cases, passengers don't even know what watt-hours means. Most people only look at mAh, like 10,000 milliamp hours, 20,000 milliamp hours, 30,000 milliamp hours, and they assume bigger is better. But airlines don't just look at mAh. They look at watt-hours, because it measures the energy stored inside the battery. And when something goes wrong in the air, that stored energy becomes a risk. So today's big question is this. Should airlines get even stricter about power banks? Or should passengers take more responsibility for what they bring on board? Because realistically, many of us are traveling with power banks in our bags right now. Some are old, some are cheap, some have been dropped before, some have been used while charging, heated up, and still continue to be used like normal. And yet we seldom think about what could happen if a battery overheats at the worst possible place, inside a packed flight. So let me ask you, when you fly, do you check your power bank specs, or do you just throw it into your bag and go? If you found out your own power bank might be unsafe, would you still use it, or immediately replace it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this affects every traveler, and the next incident could happen on any flight. If you found this report useful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to 2230 so you don't miss the next major update.